A thick mist clung to the city streets like a silken blanket draped over empty alleyways, hiding secrets in every shadow. The night air tasted of rain and asphalt, punctuated only by the distant hum of traffic and the gentle plink-plink of droplets tumbling from rusted gutters. On nights like this, the world felt paused. Every sight, every sound seemed suspended in time. But deep in a half-lit alley, something was stirring that would shatter the stillness in a heartbeat. Rex moved through the wet concrete corridor with the confidence of a monarch surveying a kingdom. Though his muzzle was flecked with grey and his joints ached from years of service, his posture remained proud and alert. Once, he'd been the city's unseen guardian, a 9 police legend trained to sniff out danger and face it without a flicker of doubt. Now retired, he wandered these streets out of habit, his instincts humming beneath his skin like an electric current. Yet even in retirement, a protector's heart never sleeps. Then came the sound, a stifled whimper, so fragile it might have been mistaken for a gust of wind. Rex stopped mid-stride, ears swiveling. From deeper in the alley, low menacing growls rumbled like distant thunder. A scent part coppery blood, part raw fear, wafted on the damp breeze and set his paws tingling. In a flash, his pursuit began, every muscle coil, every sinew burning with purpose. What lay ahead would demand everything he had. Turning a slick corner, Rex froze. Huddled against a graffiti-stained brick wall was a boy no more than 8 years old. His clothes were sodden and ragged, his body curled in on itself as if he could vanish completely. 2 emaciated stray dogs paced around him, ribs jutting like saw blades beneath their matted fur. Their yellowed teeth gleamed under a lone flickering lamp as they snarled and snapped, voices rich with hunger and malice. The child's pleas were barely a breath against the alley's chill, but to Rex, they were a roar in his mind. Protect! Now, with a bark like a bolt of lightning, Rex launched himself into the fray. The first stray lunged for his throat, jaws wide, but Rex flowed around the attack, pivoting on powerful haunches and slamming into his enemy with the force of a battering ram. The dog yelped, stunned as Rex's snarl shook the alley wall. The second stray seized the moment, clamping down on Rex's hind leg with a savage snap. Sharp pain lanced through Rex's body, but he refused to acknowledge it. Instead, he spun, teeth locked on the stray's scruff, wresting free with a bone-crunching effort. Blood mixed with rain as Rex slammed into the first dog again, this time felling it with one final thunderous shove. The 2 strays hesitated, then, beaten and bewildered, they melted back into the darkness. Silence crashed over the alley once more. Panting heavily, Rex turned to the boy, whose shallow breathing was the only proof that he still clung to life. Without a second thought, despite the burning pain in his leg, Rex nudged the child gently, eyes urging him to stir. The boy lay still. They had no time left. Rex broke into a limp-stitched run, every stride a testament to his willpower. Memories of past patrols guided him through the maze of alleys, each slick corner bringing him closer to hope. A modest house stood at the end of the block, its porch light a beacon in the rain. Rex sprang onto the woodboards, claws scratching as he barked with urgent insistence. Inside, Olivia Parker's teacup trembled on its saucer. She rushed to the door, heart hammering. Never had Rex sounded like this. What dreadful news drove her faithful companion to such desperation? Throwing her coat over her shoulders, Olivia followed Rex into the night without a word. She had built her life around routines ever since losing her husband and son in a long-ago accident. Now, every instinct told her that routine lay in ruin. Rex led her back to the alley's moor, where the boy's broken form came into view. Olivia's breath caught. His face was a mask of dirt and blood, his limbs too weak to crumple beneath her. Gently, she scooped him into her arms, as though cradling the last flicker of a dying ember. "Help me," she whispered more to herself than to the silent night. Rex stood guard, ears pricked as Olivia dashed into the street, flagging down a lone taxi. The driver's eyes widened as she slid in the back, the boy in her arms and Rex at her side. "Please, hospital," she gasped. The tires hissed over wet asphalt and the world blurred into streaks of neon and rain. Every second counted. Inside the emergency ward, nurses descended like a well-rehearsed squad. Olivia could only stammer, attacked by stray dogs, malnourished. Their practiced hands whisked the boy to a stretcher and vanished behind swinging doors. Olivia's legs felt rooted to the floor until Rex nudged her, grounding her in the moment. She took a ragged breath and stepped forward. If her heart had room to break again, it would have in that instant. For 3 days, Olivia stayed by the boy's side. The antiseptic scent clung to her clothes. The rhythmic beeps of monitors shaped her every waking thought. Rex curled at her feet, vigilant even in sleep, as if daring harm to breach the hospital walls. Time dripped by, each hour a test of faith. Would that frail spark of life inside the boy burn brighter or flicker out? On the 4th morning, something changed. A soft murmur, a flutter of fingers. Then eyes, wide and frightened, blinked open. Olivia's chest tightened as the boy scanned the unfamiliar room, panic pricking his gaze. But when his eyes met Rex's patient, wagging tail, relief bloomed like dawn breaking through storm clouds. "You saved me," he rasped. "And not me," Olivia corrected gently. "He did." The boy hesitated, then, with a trembling hand, touched Rex's nose. A silent promise passed between them. "You are safe now." Social services arrived soon after, voices polite but firm. They spoke of foster homes and temporary care, of tracing relatives far away. Olivia nodded, but her heart betrayed her true desire. Could she bear to lose him again? That evening she found the social worker in the quiet hallway. "I want to keep him," she whispered, as if afraid the hospital's walls might crumble at the admission. After a long pause, the worker nodded. "It won't be easy," she warned. "We know," Olivia said, eyes on the door behind which the boy slept. "But it's right." A month later, the once silent house thrummed with life. Noah, so the boy was called, sat giggling on the living room floor as Rex nudged a squeaky toy toward him. His cheeks were fuller now, his eyes bright with curiosity instead of fear. Nightmares still visited occasionally, but each time he awoke to Olivia's gentle arms and Rex's warm presence, he learned anew that he was protected. One crisp afternoon, golden leaves crunched underfoot as Olivia, Noah, and Rex strolled through the park. Noah darted ahead, laughter tumbling from his lips like wind chimes. Then he paused, uncertainty flickering in his eyes as he looked back at Olivia. "Mom?" he whispered, voice fragile. Her heart stuttered, 3 simple letters that stitched her broken pieces together. "Yes," she said, tears glistening. "You can call me that." Noah beamed, sprinting into her arms as Rex barked in joyous approval. Together at last, they were a family, and their story was only just beginning. Autumn sunlight filtered through the amber canopy, casting a patchwork of warmth across their faces as they stood together beneath an ancient oak. Noah pressed his small hand into Olivia's, feeling the steady beat of her heart, a rhythm that matched his own newly steady pulse. Rex padded softly beside them, tail a metronome of contentment, eyes bright with quiet pride. In that moment, the world felt endless and kind, each breath a promise of days yet unwritten, but life's path is never without shadow. As Olivia watched Noah chase a drifting leaf, she felt a familiar tug of worry, questions of tomorrow stirring beneath the joy of today. Would they weather the storms that occasionally darken Noah's dreams? Could her heart bear the risk of loving someone so fiercely once more? She knelt, brushing a stray curl from his forehead and meeting his trusting gaze. "And no matter what comes," she whispered, voice strong and sure, "we face it together." A breeze stirred the leaves overhead, and Olivia knew their true journey was just beginning.